Hey, my feel good friend, and welcome to the very first mini-sode of 2022. And yes, this happens to be mini-sode 30 as well. Pretty cool. Also coinciding with 2 years of the Feel Good Social podcast. Super stoked to have been doing this show for 2 years. And also, we hit 30,000 downloads recently. We hit 100 episodes recently. Man. And, my birthday is happening tomorrow. I'm turning 31 tomorrow. So lots of things to celebrate over here in the Feel Good Social world. And I appreciate you so much celebrating with me, tuning in. And I'm also very excited about today's mini-sode because it is going to be, I think it will be helpful, and it's also going to be slightly Instagram ranty in a way, okay? Today, I am going to be sharing the number one thing that I always want you to keep in mind and remember when it comes to seeing all of the Instagram trends that are happening this year, hearing about all of these different trends that might be popping up in 2022. This is something that I always have to remind my clients of and myself of. Every freaking year and every freaking time a new shiny Instagram content marketing trend pops up, I always have to take a deep breath, slow things down, remind myself of this thing that I'm sharing with you in today's episode because it's very easy. I don't know if you're this way, but I definitely get caught up in the shiny object syndrome and bandwagoning syndrome, right? So today I'm going to be sharing the one thing that I always want you to keep in mind. Come back to this episode throughout the year. If you ever find yourself being like, ooh, this person's doing that or this person's doing that, come back to this episode and tune in, my friend, because it's something I have to remind myself of again and again and again. I kid you not. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Hey friend, and welcome to the Feel Good Social Podcast. I'm your host, Kinsey, and I'm here to help you market your business in a genuine way that works without wasting your precious time. On this show, we chat about social media strategy and mindset tips with a focus on, you guessed it, feeling good. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some genuine conversation for the good of your biz. Okay, so as per usual with the minisodes, gonna be talking fast, gonna try to keep this short, sweet, to the point, actionable in a way where, I do think that this episode is actionable because like I said in the intro, you can totally come back and re-listen to this. Put this in your little put this in like a little bookmark folder or something, right? So that next time and throughout the year, you are seeing, oh my gosh, Instagram Reels, or oh my gosh, Clubhouse, right? Or oh my gosh, whatever the heck trend pops up that's super shiny and sexy this year, anytime it happens, and you are thinking of completely throwing your content strategy out the window and chasing after this shiny object trend, come back to this episode, my friend, because I have to do this too. I'm probably going to be coming back to this episode myself and being like, yep, okay, laying down the law for myself. Kins, you're right. That sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Okay, so when it comes to Instagram trends, my friend, firstly, let's just cover what a trend is. A trend is kind of like anything that is popping up that's super popular, when it comes to marketing, content, social media platforms, anything online that gains popularity is like what I would consider a trend. And it can be really enticing for a lot of us when these pop up. I saw this happen with Clubhouse, which, okay, maybe I'm just like totally ignorant right now, but I haven't heard people talking about Clubhouse lately. This is definitely like the perfect example of a trend that happened in 2021 that I don't really hear anything about anymore, right? But I apologize if you're a Clubhouser and I'm totally being ignorant right now. But long story short, a trend is something that pops up that gains really quick popularity. And it's really enticing for a lot of us to be like, oh my gosh, I want to hop on this wagon. Oh my gosh, look at how many great results they're getting. Look at their visibility. Look at how cool this looks. I want to do that instead of sticking to this kind of boring, thing that I've been doing over and over for a long time. It feels monotonous at this point, repetitive. Like I've been showing up on Instagram in this way, and sure, it's been getting me some great results and all of these things, but like now I kind of feel like I need to be doing this new thing because it's cool and new and all these different awesome stuff, right? Like that is what a trend feels like often. Okay, so that's how you know it's a trend, right? And here's the thing, trends can be super, super awesome to hop on board with. Trends can be super, super awesome to start implementing, to start trying out and testing and all of these things. Trends have potential to really boost your online presence, depending on what kind of brand you are and all these different things. It can be a really great idea for you to start creating Instagram Reels. It could possibly be a great idea for you and your brand to go on Clubhouse. But here's the thing that I always want you to remember when it comes to trends of any sort in any area of your life is it can be so attractive, magnetic to just like go with it. It can be exciting to just hop on board, and all those different things. But I really, really want to encourage you to always take a deep breath and think, okay, is this actually making sense for me, for my brand, and for my ideal customers? Take a deep breath, center yourself, remind yourself who you are, what you enjoy, how much time you actually have, right? Remind yourself of your brand. What is your message? How are you trying to help people? Where have you been showing up online, right? And also remind yourself of your ideal customers. Who are they? What do they need from you? How can you serve them in the best way? What content is working well? What content do they respond to in the best way, right? Where do they hang out online, right? I saw this with TikTok a lot, and TikTok is awesome. And it is still gaining popularity really like a lot. But, it is still very, very younger audience focused, Gen Z focused, TikTok is. And while there are older people showing up over there and stuff like that, and if you are an older, person yourself, and I say older and I'm counting myself in that. I was joking with one of my Feel Good Social Clubbers the other day, Shelby. And I was calling her a young person and a Gen Z person. And she's like, actually, I think I made the cutoff for millennial. And I was like, okay, fine. You can call them young people with me too then. But so I'm counting myself as an older person, right? At 31 tomorrow. But long story short, if you are an older person, if you do see, but you see your ideal people showing up on TikTok, awesome. Show up on TikTok, especially if it's not going to take up a whole lot of your time or it's not going to be stressful for you. If it makes sense for the brand and the type of content that you create, right? And your ideal audience is hanging out over there, show up on TikTok. But if you are serving some other audience that's not even hanging out on TikTok, and if TikTok content, like video content in that way, stresses you out, or if you can't figure out how to create it in a way that makes sense for your brand that is showing up and giving value to your people, then you probably don't want to hop on the TikTok trend, right? And TikTok at this point, I wouldn't even call it a trend. I would call it a separate, like official social media platform that you should definitely consider showing up on if it makes sense for you, okay? So this is what I wanted to drive home today. This is my number one tip for using any type of trends, but especially Instagram content, social media marketing trends, anything that pops up this year in 2022. I always want you to take a deep breath, center yourself, remind yourself of who you are, what type of content you like to create, how much time you have to spend creating it. Remind yourself of your brand, remind yourself of your ideal customers, and then consider, is this something that makes sense for me to start implementing in my strategy? Because that is the golden rule of marketing, is creating a plan that works for you and your lifestyle, for your brand, to spread your message and help your people, and for your ideal customers, exactly like I just said, meeting them where they're at with value in a way that they can understand and consume and engage with and enjoy. This is the golden rule of marketing and creating your marketing strategy. Okay, so always, always remember to center yourself before you hop on any shiny trends. And now, before I hop off, I do want to invite you to join me in my free 2022 content strategy workshop that is happening on January 18th of 2022. It is free. Like I said, we will be talking about your content goals so you can get very, very clear on them and understand why you are creating certain types of content, why you are showing up online, what you want to achieve, and then also how you can tweak your content to create these different goals or like achieve these different goals, depending on what your goals are for the week, for the month, for whatever the heck it is, right? That's just one thing we'll be talking about. And then we'll also be talking about your content themes and pillars and how you can use these themes and pillars to generate ideas for content as you move through the year and create consistent content that speaks to your ideal customers, gives them value, and also makes them feel like they trust and know your brand. And then we will also be outlining your content plan of attack for 2022, setting up guidelines for yourself on a weekly basis so that you can always come at your social media every week or month with a strategy that makes sense for you. You come at it with a plan instead of coming at it with a, oh my gosh, I just feel like I have to post so many times. I don't know what to post and all these. Like, okay, no, let's go ahead and outline your content strategy plan so that you don't have to worry about that and it doesn't feel as overwhelming, right? So that is what we are going to be doing in my 2022 content strategy workshop that is happening on January 18th. And it is free and I would love for you to sign up. The sign up link is feelgoodsocial.com/2022. Very, very simple, straightforward, easy for you. Go to feelgoodsocial.com/2022. 2022. Sign up today. I would love to see your face there. And if by chance you cannot make it to the live workshop, definitely sign up anyway, because I will be sending out the replay to people who have signed up for a limited time. So you will definitely be able to catch the replay. You'll also be able to snag my awesome content strategy workbook that I created so that you can have a place to organize your thoughts and something that you can actually pull out and reference throughout your year. It's going to be awesome. The workbook alone is worth $97. The workshop itself is probably like, I don't know, $147 or something like that. Is probably what I would charge normally, but I'm offering it to you for free this year as my gift because I love you and I would love to see your face and connect with you in person. So head to feelgoodsocial.com/2021. No. Head to feelgoodsocial.com/2022. Don't go to 2021. That's not a link. I'm like, what year is it? Please tell me you're having this issue too. And sign up feelgoodsocial.com/2022. I will see you there, my friend. I cannot wait to connect with you. Thanks so much for listening, my friend. For show notes and a whole lot of other awesome freebies, visit feelgoodsocial.com. Simply go to feelgoodsocial.com for all the goods.